Primal Hearts 1 and 2 are a double set of moege developed by Marmalade, known for titles like Marshmallow All the Way Home and Study Steady. As their moege, the focus is on a lighthearted slice of life, but Primal Hearts 1 and 2 stand out with its unique dueling student councils premise. Ainoshima Academy has two student councils, Gekka, which leans towards conservative viewpoints, and Tendo, which tends to be more progressive. These councils influence everything from cafeteria menu options to club funding. Decisions between the two councils are made via student votes through an app, but ties have become too common when the stories of both visual novels start. Enter the protagonists of both titles, a transfer student who becomes the ultimate tiebreaker, hopefully making future votes decisive. Both protagonists earn the nickname 3-7, referencing a jackpot, and many students aim to hopefully get the protagonists on their preferred council's side. Despite the seemingly political setup, both games are primarily romance-heavy, lighthearted moege with a mix of quirky humor and wholesome character development. The common routes are decently long, allowing the protagonists to get to know both councils' members, especially the presidents, who are the main heroines. There's only one choice that matters, the final common route choice that determines the heroine route you get on. Now let's break down the best and worst aspects of both visual novels. Primal Hearts nails a very solid, balanced mix of quirky humor and wholesome romance. It avoids being too over the top, like Majiko or Asa Project, or too groundedly slow paced, like If My Heart Had Wings or Hoshiori Yume Murai. The comedy is distinct for each character, and the romance and character development and relationships have genuinely very sweet moments even in the common route. Surprisingly, every heroine across both games is at least decently likable. Many moege have a heroine that I consider annoying, pandering, or boring, but here, everyone gets meaningful screen time and development. Even Primal Hearts 2's Anna, a side heroine, gets more depth than one might expect. Going to what each specific entry does better, I consider Primal Hearts 1 to do a better job making the student council conflicts more interesting, as well as tying them more into the heroine motivations, making the whole unique setup more engaging. On the other hand, I consider Primal Hearts 2 to have more likable individual heroines overall. My personal favorite across both games is Alice Tia, a shy girl who struggles with communication and people misunderstanding her but improves over time, a personal story I can relate to. Going into the negatives, while the humor of both games are usually solid, some jokes get repetitive. For example, Mei, the homeroom teacher and Gekka advisor, has the game constantly let you know she's hopelessly single and a predator who will do desperate things to get marriage papers signed. It doesn't help you see her back-to-back in both Primal Hearts games. Even the main heroines aren't immune, with Alice Tia constantly scaring people with her awkward faces, or how Marmalade subtly reminding us that they secretly hate lollies, with how much the characters make fun of Haruhi from Primal 1 looking and acting like a kid. The side male characters have it particularly rough, with overly repeated jokes about Primal 1 Mizunori's obsession with food and 2D waifus, Primal 2 Shikishima's obsession with muscles, and a general overuse of lame gay jokes. What I and many consider the biggest issue across all translated Marmalade visual novels are that almost every heroine route eventually devolves into half the heroine's personality becoming incredibly thirsty for sex, leading to excessively large amounts and long length of H scenes. Some of these H scenes last nearly an hour long on auto mode. The only exception being Usagi's route in Primal Hearts 2, where her romance is fully developed before any H scenes appear, making it feel more natural and one of the few heroine routes across both games I consider consistently good. Finally, while I think the four president heroines between the two games, Sarah, Haruhi, Alice Tia, and Usagi, stand out from the pack well, the non-presidents feel too samey to their other games' equivalent. Kana from Primal 1 and Mashiro from Primal 2 have a really similar, relaxed, prim and proper One-san vibe. Yuzuki from Primal 1 and Tadeha from Primal 2, while both likable and down-to-earth, have almost identical personalities, to the point people consider them copy-pastes of each other, which doesn't help that they both happen to work at the exact same cafe. What does not help is that Michi, despite being a distinct flirty Gyaru, does not get a route in Primal 1. On a smaller note, Marmalade seems to heavily favor overly busty heroine designs a bit too much, leaving Haruhi from Primal 1 and Anna from Primal 2 as the only petite and medium as premium options respectively. Now, onto the final verdict. Who do I recommend Primal Hearts 1 and 2 for? If you enjoy slice of life moege, quirky humor, a unique high school premise, and don't mind or skip excessive H scenes, you'll probably like these two visual novels. But if you want serious drama or plot-driven visual novels, these won't be for you. On a personal level, I consider Primal Hearts 1 and 2 decent, but not amazing. This dueling student council setup is unique, but not something I particularly care about. Instead, it's the likable heroines, lighthearted tone, wholesome friendship moments, and sincere character writing that makes the experience enjoyable. Unfortunately, 90% of the heroine routes being bogged down by too many long H scenes and some overly repeated gags heavily bring down the experience. My personal final score is a 7 out of 10.